Rainy day here, April 30th, 2014 at High Falls. Not sure how much longer this museum is going to be open, which is a shame. So I thought for posterity's sake I'd take a video of where I spent the last year. Preserve a record of what it used to look like here before it becomes apartments or businesses or whatever. Could have picked a brighter day, but whatever. This museum opened in the early 1990s. This used to be a community board for posters and flyers, announcements. I painted over it because it said meet a tour guide here, and there's no tour guide anymore. Our sign, put it out on ice phase, and you walk in. This is where I've been here at the desk. The stairs up to the museum. Elevator going up. This diorama of High Falls. Over here in this space was for the longest time a gift shop. We've used it as a gallery space for things from the library. We were hoping to get a gift shop in here, but I don't think that's going to happen. This place was once full of tchotchkes, mementos. A Gleason lathe, Rochester's Gleason Works, got its start here in the High Falls Browns Race neighborhood using water power from the race. Like all the flour mills, like so much else. We've got the bathrooms here. I don't know what this was originally used for during the first 20 years of the museum's history, but back here we've made a small little kitchen and staff room and storage. A lot of this stuff was here. They did haul 2 boxes of dumpsters away. Great view across the river to the Genesee Brewery. There's the Pond Loren pedestrian bridge. Down there you could see the pavilions from which the city would put on laser light shows. Hasn't been done in 4 years. Hasn't been done regularly in probably closer to 10. So this was the main lobby and entry area. People come up and can interact with this table map here in the main room. The lights all work now, but unfortunately the buttons often send you to places that don't exist. Let's see, Midtown Plaza, Silver Stadium. So it all lights up. You can see the back of the room. This is an interesting bulletin board with pictures from the reconstruction. This was a sawmill owned by the Brown Brothers, and then waterworks station designed by, I think, J. Foster Warner, maybe Andrew Jackson Warner. There were some discrepancies. Either way, prominent Rochester architect. This is a sluice gate. Water from the race, which used to flow down Brown's Race Street, could come in there. They'd controlled the intake by releasing the gate at intervals. Oh, I didn't check to see if the TV was working. It is. We've got this glacier feature here in our forest, so you can see the Genesee River and Finger Lakes as carved out by receding glacier. We went to our forest. Christine and Barb and I fixed every light in here. It's a great old industrial space. So kids and people can peer in these nooks and learn about indigenous flora, fauna. Over here, we've got Ebenezer Allen crawl space. This was the start of a water feature which ran through here, presumably for its first 2 decades of operation. When we took over, this was full of brackish water, filthy, full of coins. The water would flow that way. More on that soon. A nod to the Seneca Nation. When I take field trips through here, I do go on about the Iroquois Confederacy and stress the fact that Ebenezer Allen, Nathaniel Rochester, and those we consider our pioneer settlers were hardly the first. This was the cave room. There was a black cloth here up above that pipe, a simulation of a race, which was moldy. We had to take it away. So now I call it a race instead of a cave. This wall would project water if we had the technology to maintain these 1980s Kodak carousels, but they break down. We've got one working, one of the four right now. I'm pretty proud of that. All done by me, friends, family, volunteers. No support. My father-in-law fixed all the carousels. This water wheel still works. The water would come flowing in from this race. And you can see how water creates energy, turning this water wheel. The turning of the wheel allows for this to happen. The turning of millstones, the grinding of wheat into flour, our flour. Trip hammer, another way water power is employed here. Harnessing the Genesee, used to manipulate metal, make heavy tools. Some great pictures. 18th century High Falls through the 19th and the 20th. The last and greatest room here. A lot of exhibits that would have been very cutting edge in the early 1990s. Turbine power, it's another model that still works. This is a Kodak Brownie camera. Appears to be on. It tells a story. You push a button, we do the rest.
Rochester, New York, a city that thrives on fresh ideas. A place where innovation drives industry, and industry shapes
The taxi cab here, you can take a ride through all of Rochester. This room leads you into the 20th century and the modern metropolis. The water feature originally ended here at this wishing well. Of course, the waterworks station was also used for firefighting. This Power of the People exhibit is probably the least used part of the museum now. Doesn't translate very well to 21st century museum goers. But how this works is you pick a Rochesterian, press his or her button, learn his or her story. Going upstairs now. This was used as a gallery space for a long time. My predecessor, Sally Wood Winslow, hosted a number of shows here. Would sell art, community art space. We've used it for a few shows like that since the city historian's office took over. Right now we've got an exhibit on the history of High Falls up here, set up by our great intern. Panels of the history of this building, the making of this as a historic district. Great, beautiful natural lighting here. We can't quite see the falls. We can get some of the froth. They would be right here. A little bit of them. All these rooms have such great potential, which is why I've no trouble believing this place is going to sell fast. A boardroom. You can look down into the museum. Plumbed for a small kitchen. And here we have the back way out. Our elevator. Great classroom. This way leads to the restaurant and the old nightclubs, ballroom space. You can see a lot of love went into designing this building. Multi-purpose. I don't know how it came to be that it's become so obsolete. Lack of upkeep, lack of interest. This is just this was used as a storage room. You can get to the roof here. I've been up there. Pretty nice views. Don't come in here very much because it's a bit sad. Another classroom space. I've hosted a few events here. We've got a basement down here.